welcome to the A Bit of AI show with your hosts, Henk and Amy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first A Bit of AI show. With myself, Henk Boelman and Amy Boyd. We both work at Microsoft and have a passion for AI. And in our journey and meetings with many people around the globe, we realized that there are so many different roles within AI solutions, from pre-sales to the people that are creating the models. So in this show, we invite people from all over the world who are professionals in the AI space to have a chat about what they actually do during the week. This is the first episode, and we couldn't be more excited after a long time of planning for this actually to take off so that we can talk to our guests. Because this is the first episode, let's talk a little bit about the format of the show. We have 4 segments in the show. We will start with highlighting some nice upcoming events. Then we go to our main guest to talk about her or his life in AI. We close the show with our second guest to talk about an open source project and how you can contribute to that. And finally, we dive into an AI learning challenge that we will do weekly, which you can all find on our website, abitofai.show. So let's start with some upcoming events. I want to highlight in this episode 2 events. In April, the Global AI Student Conference is taking place. And this is an event created by students, but not only for students. Everyone can, of course, join and learn. And there is still time, I think 4 days, to submit some sessions. So more information can be found on aiconf.education. And of course, everything we talk about today can be found on our website, abitofai.show. Another great weekly event I want to focus on is AI Talks, created by Sami. He's an AI MVP, and every 2 weeks he invites guests to his 1-hour show to talk about a cool AI project. And this you can find on globalai.live. So I think it is time to welcome our first guest. So let's get started. Hi, Terry.
Hey. Hi, Amy. Hi, Henk.
Hey, Terry.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's very exciting. Glad to be here for the very first one. So, no pressure.
I was gonna say, yeah, no pressure. Who knows where this could go, right? In the end, we might be famous on the internet.
Ooh.
Cool. Well, let's get started because we don't have that long, but we want to make sure we completely dive into what you do and who you are, Terry. So let's start there. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So hi, I'm Terry. So I run a AI consultancy called Advancing Analytics. I'm also a Microsoft MVP for AI, which basically means that I probably talk at too many events and probably don't do enough real work. And I live in Devon in the UK with my wife and my 2 kids, which has been really interesting during the whole lockdown period.
Fabulous. Oh no, that's Devon though. So I'm from the UK, same as Terry. Devon's a beautiful place. That's what a nice place to be situated, especially at the moment, and also coming into the summer. Hopefully, others will be able to get down there at some point. So let's kick off. First things first, I always think this is the hardest question to answer, but also the most insightful question for people when it comes to roles. If you do shadowing and stuff like that, you'll tend to kind of feel this. But there's so many different jobs, and that's kind of in AI, and that's why we've kind of started this show. So can you tell us, what does your day look like, an average day? So, how is it you start? What do you end up working on? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think if I start at the right at the beginning, it's a manic morning, getting children ready for school and other things, and then when I start my day job, so things have changed being remote. But so Advancing Analytics, we're a consultancy and we help customers solve data engineering problems and AI problems. So an average day can be so different depending on which customer we're working with and which project we're working with. And it could be that one day is spent on a project, actually with a customer, helping them solve a particular problem. And that might be looking at, how does a customer churn? When does the customer churn and leave their platform? It might be looking at how we apply hyper-personalization to their application so that they can better understand what the next best action is for somebody to take on their platform. Or it could be, looking at something a bit more advanced, like how you do computer vision, looking at, warehouse imagery, a whole load of different bits and pieces. But then when I'm not kind of doing the technical side of things as well, we spend a lot of time around upskilling the team, as well as doing, internal hacks and trying to keep up to date with a lot of, pretty much what's happening in the field. So it can be completely different every single day. Most of the time, it's with customers collaboratively helping them build either a deep learning application or even just a shallow learning application, depending on what it is that they really need. It's so varied.
Yeah. I was going to say that's the but that's
I think we kind of lost you, Amy.
Oh no, not now.
Oh, you're back.
Not in the first episode.
Yes.
I'm back.
Yes.
Come on, laptop, stay with me. Thank you, Terry, for sharing the variety. The variety in my life is whether my laptop and my internet work. That's always fun. The variety is the key, though, right? Do you thrive on variety? Do you think you would you be as excited if it was the same every day?
No, absolutely not. I'm one of those people that after 3 months on any project I'm like crawling up against a wall, like really trying, I need something else. So I think variety is the key. And with that, we work on so many different projects in different, different industries and different verticals. So it could be, helping a startup build that personalization model. It could be helping an insurance customer understand how they look at claims fraud. There's so many different avenues, and because it's so varied, and projects are typically somewhere between 3 and 6 months, you're just constantly changing, and that's what keeps it fresh and exciting. And also when I think about the skills that you need by constantly changing, it means that I have to keep my skills as sharp as possible and know enough about a variety of different approaches, which is always fun and always challenging. But that's how it goes.
Well, I know you think that first question on average workday was hard. So Henk has the best question that he ever put on one of our scripts. Henk, take it away. I can't say this one for you.
Oh yeah. So my question would be, what is the most annoying thing about your role in the AI field?
Oh, such a good question. The most annoying. I think there are lots of things that annoy me, but I would say one of the main things that's annoyed me for years is the kind of misconception that you need to have a PhD to get into machine learning and AI. And I think it's such a huge fallacy that you need a PhD, or that even having a PhD would make you better at understanding machine learning problems. And I think for some, it does. There are some people I know who have done PhDs in machine learning, in reinforcement learning, and they are phenomenal. Oh no, camera. Can you still hear me? My camera decided to switch off temporarily. So
we can hear you.
Okay, there we go. I'm back. But yeah, I think we work with so many different teams with different skill levels, and we work with so many different teams and different skill levels that it makes for a completely different, you need a diverse audience, you need a diverse team. And I think having people with deep technical backgrounds is one thing, but then, there's much more to it. I'm changing camera so that you can get me back.
I was going to say, for our video stream, this is perfect, but for our podcast, this will not affect you. There we go.
All right, one camera's down, backup camera, here we go.
Very good on having a backup camera. Super. That's what we like to see.
So yeah, I think the misconception that you need a PhD is the one thing that really annoys me. You don't need a PhD. There are so many people that come from different backgrounds, and it's super important to have different backgrounds in a team. And there's always been the concept of people who are unicorns who can kind of do everything, and it's nice to have those people, but having a multifaceted team is so much better than having one single unicorn who is probably really stressed out and trying to do absolutely everything. So I think that's one of the things that really annoys me.
You handled that question well, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that was good. So I'm also wondering, what is the last skill you have learned?
Oh, the last skill I have learned. I would say this has just been a continual process, but the last skill, and it probably is a set of skills or an entire discipline on its own, but we spent a lot of time really focusing around ML ops and machine learning, how you apply data ops and DevOps to machine learning. And, 3-4 years ago, we were really trying to define patterns around how that would work, and all the tools are getting more and more up to speed. So I think constantly what I'm doing is taking things that we built out manually by applying software development techniques to machine learning, and now looking at how that arises in new tools and actually figuring out, okay, well, how do we augment what we used to do with these new skills so that we can ultimately productionize machine learning models faster and more consistently? So that is always a continual area of exploration for me, because again, it's so multifaceted between how do you deploy a batch model compared to a real-time model that's sat behind, a million requests a minute. It's so different, and huge variety in there.
Yeah, gosh, that's so. It's one of those ones where it's software developers can really get into this space because ML ops, because security, because at the end of the day, it's still tech, right? It's just a different kind of form of an executable that's made in some senses. So so happy that you kind of pressed on that point. Now, Terry, me and you have done this before. It is our quick fire round of questions. Now, what I love about a quick fire round is it should be the first thing that comes to mind, so it's the most natural thing. When we ask for something, try to keep it to about a sentence, okay. And then hopefully the variety that we get from all our guests will show the extreme variety that we have within machine learning. Are you ready, Terry?
I am ready. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me just shuffle in my chair. Right, I'm ready to. So our first quickfire question is, what was your first programming language?
My first programming language was SQL. Maybe PHP, but I don't tell people that one. But SQL definitely was the first one.
What programming language was used in the last project you worked on?
So we work an awful lot with PySpark. Pretty much everything we do is in a distributed way, so PySpark.
Oh, that's an interesting one to note down. Okay, next question. No more than a sentence if possible, Terry. What was the last thing you learned in AI?
Graph neural nets.
Oh, good one. Good one.
Favorite event in the AI calendar?
Data and AI Summit.
Oh, nice. Good choice. Good choice. And then final question. This is nearly over. What area of AI is on your list to skill up on next?
I am really interested in transformers and how, there's so much great stuff at the moment around transformers and adversarial nets and using transformers to solve, so many problems, NLP, audio, imagery. Transformers are definitely an area where I'm looking.
Interesting. So that is our quickfire round done. Everyone can breathe. And hopefully that gave some people some insights into kind of just those immediate responses. Love that you said SQL at the start, right? So you've come from a pure data background, have you? Is that where you've kind of started before machine learning?
Yeah, absolutely. A long time ago, pretty much starting off, doing a lot of kind of data analytics, and then slowly augmenting those skills and, having to true up in all other areas and really kind of focus on that, which again, I don't have a PhD. I mean, my background is in media studies. That was my undergraduate.
No way.
Yeah, I've since done masters and stuff in machine learning to further increase what I know. But again, you just don't need that kind of stuff. If you're interested, by all means do it. But you don't need a software engineering background either. Again, I think different people, different skills really, help make a great team.
Yeah, and we've got just over a minute left. Can you believe 15 minutes has gone already? This is where we have to jump straight into those questions with you. What's your learning process? I've found picking up new technologies. Henk, we were talking about this actually recently, that it's like whatever you've worked on recently has kind of probably been maybe something you knew kind of baseline theory about, but realistically you always have to research and try new things. So do you have a learning style if you're going to take on a new technology?
Yeah, I mean, I think, definitely. I mean, to do any of this, you need to be a deep learner and you need to be able to do that kind of deep work. For me, it's always, I read as much as I can. I watch an awful lot. So I watch quite a lot of, videos about papers or read papers and find interesting things there. But also, I just quite love reading technical books and then just trying stuff out. I'm a complete doer, have to learn through doing. And so trying things out, repetition is really, how I get stuck into things.
I'm so glad we ended this section on a deep learning pun. Can we get those sound effects for next time, Henk? That would be a treat.
Yeah. You can do a little one.
Come on. Who doesn't love a false clap? Thank you so much, Terry. We've had our 15 minutes with you where you talked through very gracefully your role, the variety in there, the ability to work in diverse teams, and the ability to always learn. Is there any last tips or tricks you want to share with our audience?
I would say just, find something that you're passionate about. If you're new to this area, focus on machine learning on something that you are passionate about and that and you'll always understand things so much better.
Love that. That was perfect. Well, thank you so much, Terry. We'll say goodbye for you for now, but we will see you again in a little bit. Yes. And we will move on to our next guest. Henk, it's over to you to put our next guest in the hot seat, I think.
Yes, and maybe this is a good time to talk a little bit about the AI, a bit of AI cafe in between, because there are a lot of questions in the chat. We have 61 live viewers that are asking questions. But due to the 15-minute show we have, it is kind of hard to answer that questions in real time. So that is why we have a bit of AI cafe where we can hang out after the show. So for me, that will be at 10:30 in 10 minutes. The link is on top of the website. And you will join the Teams meeting. And there you will find Terry and Arafat and me and Amy and our reactor team. And we can just have a casual conversation. And that is where we will answer all those questions you've been asking, like what is a good entry job? What do you see is the next level of AI applications to come forward post-pandemic? So those questions, we will answer all there. And I think maybe Terry can answer some in the chat already. And then we can have a conversation in our cafe. You can see it as the pizza after the meetup, kind of place.
Virtual pizza, depending on your time of day. I don't think I want to eat pizza at 9:20 in the morning, but it's happened.
Pizza's an anytime snack. It's good.
It's an anytime snack.
Cool. So, but we are on time. So, Terry, thank you so much for joining. And
Thank you for
let's
having me.
switch to Arafat. Hello, Arafat. Good evening for you.
The internet demons have found us. We can hear you.
Oh,
You're in. Oh,
can you hear me now?
yes.
Can you hear me now? All right.
Yeah, perfect. There we go. You're back. Don't worry. We just roll through these things. Roll through them at this point. A year in. Okay, so let's get started straight away. So, very, very briefly, because we only have 5 minutes with you. Who are you and what do you do?
Okay, yeah, good question. So I am Arafat Tassin. I am a solution architect at EY and a Microsoft MVP for AI. So I do a lot of things with bots, applied AI, Microsoft applied AI, and platform as well. So if you want more information about me, you can just go github.com/Arafat Tassin, and you can find a lot of information about me. Yeah.
Nice. So can you tell us a bit about the open source project? What does it help people achieve?
Yeah, so I normally look after two of the projects. One of the projects, which is Cognitive Rocket. So it is my own personal repo where I my own stuff, such as or the talks or the presentation or any blog post which I'm writing. So I put my code over there, broader audience, if they want to get any benefit out of it. The other one which I'm going to talk about today is the Bot Builder Community Project. This is a central repo for the community resource. It has got all the community resources for the developers who are creating bots using Microsoft Bot Framework. So we have got a bunch of stuff like extents, recognizers, custom adapt, like you can surface your on Google Assistant, Zoom, Ring Central, and others. Yeah.
Fantastic. There's a lot going on in that repository. I've worked with that repository, so this is exciting to have you on the show. What type of contributions are you looking for? Is there anything specific or what's already in there that people have contributed?
Yeah, so who have contributed, it's a very big, so I'll go a little bit history for that. So in 2016, when I personally started with Bot Framework and found out that there are plenty of resources which are scattered here and there, and then I, along with some other Microsoft MVPs, James Gary, who is a part of Microsoft now, Michael, Stephen, we came together. We came to the point that yes, we should have a single repository for Bot Framework community resources. So we found one, and we've seen there was a need for this, and we got a lot of support from Microsoft. We now have more than 50 contributors on this project. So you can see a lot of things are happening over there. In terms of taking part, how can you take part into that repository, or you can contribute to that community project? First, you need to be a developer or have a Bot Framework knowledge and the passion to share with the community. If you're not a developer, then don't worry about it. You can see a lot of developer resources. If you're not a developer, if you are a no-code or low-code expert and you are enthusiastic about bots, you can always come to me, talk to me, and we have a bunch of stuff for you still in our Bot Builder repo, which needs to be looked after. So the URL for the Bot Builder community project is GitHub microsoft.com/bot builder community. And whenever you will go over there, you'll find a couple of people, so you can contact either me, Gary, or there are many people over there listed. So grab anyone and start talking to them how you can contribute to that. Yes.
Fantastic. And so, yeah, all of those links are available on abitofai.show. So if you head there, you can find all the great information that both of our guests have been sharing. Henk, is it time for us to wrap up? Are we on time?
You have exactly 3.5 minutes to talk about our last segment, about our learning challenge of the week.
Yes, I was going to say, so as we were prepping, because obviously we do chat with our guests before they come on the show, and we actually know them in this case, so it was really, really easy. We have put together a bit of a challenge for you. So if you go to aka.ms/abitofai learn, we have created a collection and a cloud skills challenge with 2 different modules. One of them relates to Terry, and it's all around ML ops. So there's this amazing sort of getting started module. So if you're new to the area, start the machine learning lifecycle with ML ops. And then I added in a bonus one because I felt like it fit really well with the open source repository from Arafat as well. And so we added in create a bot with bot framework Composer. Also, Gary, our program manager here for Composer at Microsoft, will be incredibly happy that we popped that one in there. So these are all in a collection. So there's just 2 modules, and you can go and do the Cloud Skills Challenge and take part and just learn a little bit more about what both of our guests are working in. And so, Henk, can you believe it's the end of our first episode already? I don't even know where 25 minutes of my life go anymore when these things are so quick.
It went fast, but a lot of information. And a lot of
information. Yeah, and obviously, quick reminder, if you want to join us in the cafe, you can go to aka.ms/abitofai-cafe. We called it a cafe because it's going to be chatty, it's going to be open and respectful, and you can meet our amazing guests, and you can have a chat with us as well if you want to. But on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Keep in touch. We are on Twitter as well. If you have any feedback, if there's something you want to see on the show, do let us know, because it helps us start scouting out our guests who can give you that great information. We're here every Thursday, so it's 9 a.m. GMT. I'm based in the UK. It's 10 a.m. CET. It's 2:30 IST, and it's 8 p.m. AEDT. So we cover a nice section of Europe and Asia. Come and join us in that Bit of AI cafe. If you want to rewatch this episode, go to abitofai.show. Everything is there for you. And so I just want to thank you for watching a Bit of AI show with Henk and Amy.
Thanks, everyone, and see you next week.